moving on. I want to talk about James Franklin more, and I want to talk about James Franklin's comments about the whiteout. Because I wrote about them, and also I don't know, they've started to annoy me. So I have 2 points I want to make. Um, the first point that I would like to make is, for lack of a better term, shut up and win the game. That's a little mean and it's a little harsh, but I don't know. And this will blend well into like the second question that I posed out there. And if having the whiteout at night is important, great. Like I respect that and understand that, but they're still going to show the whiteout game. There's a TV contract. They have to show all 12 of Penn State games in some shape or fashion. Um, it's just harder. And where I struggle with it is like Penn State, like James Franklin comparing Ohio State and Michigan to Penn State in this area. Some of that is like a little bit of like animosity or clouded by the fact that Penn State hasn't really beat those teams very much over the past few years. The other part of that is like, I don't know if I just thought the comment, which was effectively like, well, Ohio State and Michigan is time protected and date protected. Why isn't the whiteout? I just don't think that it's really an to apples comparison at all.
Not
And
even close.
that was
No,
my biggest
no.
takeaway there.
What was your second one? You had 2 points. Shut up
Well,
and take the
so
money, and
okay,
it's not an apples
so
to apples comparison.
the second point here is, and it's more of a question.
Oh no, shut up and win the game. Sorry.
They're shut up and win the game. That was kind of point one / like the apples and oranges comparison. And I think that's kind of where this blends in. So Penn State has famously said they will not host a Friday night game because of logistic
Right,
reasons,
right.
100,000 people, and I get that and I respect that. And I go back and forth on Friday night games because you do get all Saturday to watch a bunch of other football as a fan. Where I see and hear and read is they're trying to figure out when they should put this whiteout game. So I guess my question to you / other fans is, in order to guarantee a whiteout game at night in Beaver Stadium on a Saturday, would you be willing to give up one of your other home game Saturdays for a Friday night game? Because that's effectively maybe what we might have to see happen to get that to happen. Because this is kind of what happened with the Michigan State game at
But
Ford
Michigan
Field
State
last year.
game was a Michigan State home game, so Penn State didn't give up a home game,
Right,
right?
but you're not necessarily giving up a home game in this situation. You're giving up Friday a Saturday game. Like, let's take the bull. Like,
Yeah,
pretend.
but I think Penn State's already willing to play a Friday night game on the road instead of Saturday. That's their
But I
contribution to
think
the
you have
TV
to give it up
contract.
home. I think you'd have to give it up home. Is how I feel about it.
I don't. I don't know that I don't know that I agree with that. So I'll go with 2 points just to keep it balanced.
Okay.
I think it is you took the money, shut up. The TV contracts are paid. Shut up and play. Like stop bitching about the TV networks jerking you around. They're in charge. You've agreed they're in charge because you've taken the deal. And I think the bigger thing with the whiteout that's becoming silly this year is if it's so stinking important, schedule it. Make it your event. Schedule the agenda. The whiteout is going to be against this team on this date. Come hell or high water. It's the whiteout. If it's bigger than the game, which some people want you to believe, although we need the opponent, we need a night. But the whiteout has become bigger than the opponent and bigger the time. Schedule it. Set your promotions. Senior day is the last night of the last game of the year. You know when homecoming is. Pick another one and say, this is whiteout, plant your flag, and then let the networks fight over it, right? Because they will, because everybody would like to have those visuals. I mean, that said, so 2A is the whiteout doesn't drive viewership though either. Like it just doesn't. Like the matchups drive viewership,
Right.
which is why Michigan and Ohio State's protected. The visuals don't. It's great visual, but it doesn't drive attendance or viewership. I'm sorry, drives attendance, not viewership.
So, and I just want to clarify to make sure I understand your point, because I think I agree with your point. You're saying, and like instead of usually, everybody's antsy because we haven't got the whiteout yet because it usually comes out.
Going to be on a 2-week window. Yeah.
Well, and you also get it. You also get it announced, usually like Memorial Day weekend or right around there. You're saying January 15th or even blue white weekend, before the TV schedules are even started to talk about, you're saying, we're playing Ohio State in the whiteout this year. Who cares at what time it is?
Right. And you can do it that early if you like, or even now is fine for me. Stop the worrying about it and drive the narrative yourself. The whiteout will be against UCLA or Ohio State, whichever one it is. The stripe out's going to be this game. The helmet stripe's going to be this game. All university day is this game. Here's our stuff.
Do it. You're saying okay. So you're saying do it separate of the TV. Don't even worry about TV. Just
Right.
kind of just play the
Because
game.
it doesn't drive TV viewership. It does drive attendance because people will come. So put them in a position to schedule it and make their visit. There has been, as Wogo mentioned before, a noon whiteout game before. Noon is the biggest game time in Big Ten going forward. It just is. So if you want your biggest game to be the whiteout, make it your biggest game. And if it ends up at noon, okay, great. That's the biggest window. More people in America are going to see that game than any other game that Saturday. If it ends up at 7:30 on NBC, decent number of people are going to see that, and it's going to look good, and you're still going to be happy. If you schedule it late in the season and it ends up 3:30 on NBC, 3:30 on CBS, still going to be dark by the second half, still going to look half decent. I just think schedule if the event is important to you, because the other piece they said as well, other events on campus and in town are worried about what we're going to do. Okay, then be a good neighbor, schedule a date.
That's a good point. I agree with that.
Boom. This is what it is, and everybody else can schedule their stuff around it, because you are holding a lot of people hostage for something that really doesn't. It's not going to drive viewership. It's going to have the same number of cars and people coming into town, and people can prepare and get ready and get excited about, get the bitching out of their system, and then get ready to go. But you've opened up all the other community events and things that campus activities are worried about which one's going to be. Go ahead and make the decision. It's your game. That's one of the few things you control in college football anymore, would be a promotion like that. Go ahead and own it.
I don't disagree with any of this. Okay. No, I think this is about how I feel about it too. Like I hadn't thought of it that way, but I agree with that because I don't know. That was kind of why I wrote that thing like last week. Is like you're gonna it's gonna happen. Just do it. Yeah. So I guess I hadn't thought it that deep through yet, but I agree with that. Okay. Feel good about the whiteout?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be
feel better.
excited to watch it from home whenever it happens. Unless it's homecoming weekend. Apparently, we got tickets to homecoming, so I may go. So we'll see.
He's gonna make his way into the stadium. Wow.
Yeah,
Look at that.